Um, okay, Q&A. Hello, hello, hello. Let me do a little test. Audio, USB. Okay. Hey, gang. Alrighty. Welcome. As it's Menopause Awareness Month, if you've not noticed, everywhere I scroll through my social media today, I'm bombarded with menopausal advice, information, tips, tricks, everything from TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere, which is good, which is absolutely awesome. So I'm doing a little Q&A. Hi, Tara. Hi, Andrea. So for those of you that are doing my menopause boot camp, and for anybody else that's perimenopausal, you're very welcome to throw in your questions, your perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal questions in the comments. Hi, Amanda. I've had some really interesting comments today actually, on my socials. And I thought there's really good ideas to address. So first of all, I hope you've all had a great day so far. And I thought, yeah, let's do it early. I've still got lots of energy at this time. When I do the check-ins later on, my energy is going a bit low. Hi, Kathy. How are you? How is everybody? So really good question came in. Let me get my phone so I can quote it. And it's about weight loss resistant. So this is really common. I get quite a lot of clients, friends, colleagues who will often say, I'm perimenopausal or I'm in the middle of menopause. And I can't lose any weight. It's impossible. Whatever I'm doing, it's just not happening. And I'm putting weight on despite anything and everything that I'm doing. Does anybody else resonate with that? So there's a couple of things that you can do. There's a lot of things that you can do, but I would, number one, sort of reassess everything you are doing nutritionally. And there's kind of two routes you can go down here. Often we find that many people are almost underreporting exactly how much they eat. So, back in the old days, I would sit down, if you were my one-to-one client, and I would say to you, okay, here's your food diary, fill in your food diary, and then I'll take it away and I'll analyze it. So in 2023, 2022, we now have things like MyFitnessPal. We have apps where you can input everything that you eat. And so you can input everything into MyFitnessPal, but you've got to be really honest with yourself. Even if you're walking past the fridge and having a handful of grapes or whatever, everything needs to go in, because all of those additional foods that you might be eating when you're cooking, you might be picking, when you go to the garage, you might buy something when you're filling up for petrol. And these are all things that you sort of don't really remember and you forget to put them into MyFitnessPal. So these add up. They all have calories in. So all the little bits and pieces that you might nibble on during the day, even if you are eating really healthily, if they take you over your total daily energy expenditure, you will gain weight. But I think there's a way to go before you actually start using MyFitnessPal and counting calories. So many things that you can do. And I always say, just go right back to basics with your nutrition and just really simple. And you've heard me say this so many times if you follow me, it's just focus on 3 healthy meals. And what does that look like? Well, if you had a plate, half of your plate would be green, and a quarter of your plate would be protein. So you'd have lots of greens on one side, protein. So that would be either animal protein or plant protein. And then the last quarter, you could halve that and you could have carbohydrates and you could have fat, or you could change the ratio for those depending on how busy or active you are that day. And just focus on those 3 meals. And then in the evening, close the kitchen. So when you finished your evening meal, rather than going back in and having some supper or more food, focus on that being your last meal, and just maybe try that for a week. Also make sure that you're adequately hydrated. Are you drinking enough water? Because your brain often can't distinguish between if you are hungry or if you are thirsty. So it's important that you are eating and you're drinking enough during the day, especially if you're having night sweats. If you are overheating, because when you're overheating, progesterone is generally declining, and you might find that you're sweating a lot more than usual, or you're waking up with hot flushes. I'm going to say flushes, not flashes. Then you need to replace the hydration, the moisture. So making sure that you're drinking enough. So that's key as well. And just a really simple tip around eating, that you eat slowly. If you are looking at your phone, got the TV on, something else, and you're very distracted when you're eating and you're eating really quickly, you often overeat and not even realize it. You keep going until you're full and then more than full. And we don't want to get to that point either. So just really simple tips that can focus on those for maybe a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then see where you're at for sure. And then if you've not lost any weight or you're still struggling, then it's the time to get MyFitnessPal out and maybe have a look at exactly what's going in. And you can go from there. But always go with the basics first of all, because we're looking for long lasting change, not short term changes, long lasting change. So that was a good question. Another question I got, oh yeah, was about knees, bad knees. So as hormones are declining, and when the hormones decline, especially progesterone, it doesn't just decline in a linear method, a linear way. It goes up, it goes down, it changes, which is why we get lots of different and varied menopausal symptoms, and they change and they're often not the same. And it's kind of hard to put your finger on them sometimes because, the rate that the hormones are declining is, as I say, it's never linear. It's up and down. It's like a zigzag. But a really common symptom is painful joints. So knees and ankles and hips, even wrists. You may have noticed it. This is really common. Now, if you are somebody that loved aerobics and fitness and did a lot of fitness, maybe in your 20s, 30s, even 40s, and never had a problem with injury, and then again, suddenly struggling with joint pain, and stiffness, then for sure it could potentially be down to the hormones that are declining during menopause. So it might be a good chance to just switch up what you're doing. Definitely don't give up cardio. If you love cardio activities, and I saw this again today on a menopausal experts feed, only do strength training. Whereas I agree to up to a point, we need to still train cardiovascular. It's so important. Heart disease is a huge killer of women over 60. And keeping a strong heart and lungs and a cardiovascular system is really important. But that doesn't have to mean running the London Marathon. That could mean, daily walks. It could mean some interval training with its mixed impact. It could mean cycling. It could mean swimming. There's so many other ways that you can get your heart rate up. So if you are struggling with joints, and you do want to still train and do your heart and work your cardiovascular system, maybe just mix things up a little bit. Try some different types of activity. If you join any of my programs, we do lots of different things. We do mobility, we do strength, we do cardio, we do Pilates, we do flexibility, lots of different things all the time. And that's the key as well. Keep it doing. Swimming, absolutely. Swimming's fantastic, as is walking, as is cycling, as is scootering, as in inline skating. There's so many other ways. Cross trainer, go spin to a spinning class, all fab, all good. So don't be put off by what some of the gurus are saying, only do strength training. Cardiovascular training is really important. And from a mental health standpoint, you know how fabulous you feel when you've done a good sweaty workout. You feel good, you feel positive, you have clarity in your brain, you feel positive. So just maybe mix it up a little bit for sure. And if your joints are really stiff, again, make sure you're putting into your week some mobility work. I do lots of mobility here on my social challenger channels. 10 minutes, increasing your range of motion. Again, if you're sitting at your desk for a long period of time or you're driving, make sure that you are doing mobility training and you are increasing the range of motion. So really good question. Mix it up. That's the key. So I would say bottom line is cross training, lots of different things, try lots of different activities, always listen to your body, of course, and just keep it varied. So in menopause, we're sort of trying to reframe exercise a little bit. We are not doing it to burn calories. We are doing it to feel good, to stay strong and healthy, to be strong for life from a functional standpoint, to prevent injuries, etc. So we're just reframing it a little bit. So good question. Last question that I got today, I thought this was really interesting and it's a good one. It's about eggs. What do you think to this? Are you an egg eater? I'm egg eater. I love eggs. We love eggs at our house. Now, eggs are definitely a superfood, but some people will tolerate more eggs than others. Um, the only thing with eggs is if you are eating a lot, they are quite high in fat. So you might want to moderate them a little bit. I would say, I looked at somebody actually showed me their sort of food diary, and we were talking about eggs today, and it made me think, I thought, I've not spoken about eggs for ages. They're so high in protein. They're just super, super, super foods, but they can be high in fat, or the egg yolk can. So maybe look at how many eggs you're eating a week. Put it in the comments if you are an egg eater. Really, if you're eating any more than about 7 or 8 eggs over the week, that might be a maximum. But you might want to sort of change it up a little bit, so you're not having eggs every single day for breakfast, although they are so good, but maybe you have egg whites sometimes, or just moderate it a little bit and see where you're at with that. So a really good question around eggs, but definitely, hey, I love an egg. No problem. Oh, that's thanks, Tara. But definitely don't not have eggs, because they are super, super food. So there we go. Yeah, says 3 to 4 to 8. Brilliant. Yeah. Who is an egg eater? So nighttime nibbling we've talked about, and that's to have regular rests through the day. Your brain is like an iPhone. It's like an iPhone charge. As the day gets on and on and on, our brains get more and more tired. All the decisions that you've made all day today. Think of the decisions from getting up out of bed to what you're going to wear to what you're going to cook for tea. And if you've been at work as well and you've got quite a mentally challenging role and you're having to make lots of decisions, if you're a fit pro, you've got choreography to remember and class content and social media and business and all that stuff. So your brain, obviously, it gets really tired. So when you get to the evening, once you've eating your evening meal, maybe change up your nighttime routine a little bit. If you are someone that's going to go into the kitchen and start doing your nighttime nibbling, what can you do? Can you go upstairs? Can you change your routine a little bit so you don't do that? Because when your brain is so tired, and so exhausted and you're drained mentally, it's really hard to not go into the kitchen and eat something to replenish that energy. So just mix it up. Yeah, fatigue, exactly, that's the right word there. It's fatigue. So maybe just change up your nighttime routine a little bit, or in the day, build in more breaks. It's been a beautiful day today. Did you manage to get outside and have a walk? Hope you did. Maybe go and have one now if you've got time, or maybe if after you have your evening meal, just before it gets dark, go and sort of have 10, 15 minutes. Just get some sunlight, some vitamin D, get some fresh air, and just change it up a little bit. And again, switch down your devices so the blue light's not going into your eyes. So there we go. Some top tips around some good questions that have come in today regarding being Menopause Awareness Month, and so many of you that are doing the boot camp. So if you are working from home, must turn off the laptop. Kim, so true, but so hard, isn't it? So hard to do. But the blue light coming into your eyes does keep your brain awake. And we want to have the best quality sleep that we can, so we wake up the next day feeling refreshed and we don't have crazy cravings. Maybe I'll talk about sleep tomorrow. So if you are doing the Menopause Bootcamp, I've sent you all an email today to come and join me in the studio, my online studio, so you can get some extra workouts and more support in there. I'd love to see you in there. And if you haven't joined my 7-day Menopause Bootcamp and you'd like to join 7 days and do workouts with me and get coaching and all that good stuff, you're very welcome. Just put a comment in and I'll set you up with the link. So there we go. I'm going to have my tea now, and I'm going to close my laptop later on so the blue light's not going in my eyes. Anyway, have a lovely day, and I will catch you in the morning, 7:10. I'll be here doing a workout, so come and say hello. Thank you. You're very welcome, Paula. You are very welcome. And if you are jumping on the Menofit training, the teacher training, or you want information on that, give me a shout about that as well. We've got a fantastic teacher training group at the moment that is just flying, with lots of people launching. Or if you want to come and join the boot camp, let me know. You're very welcome. Hi, Dawn. Hope you're okay. Big kiss from me. All right, gang. And if you have any merry menopausal questions that you want me to answer on the evening Q&A this week, just send me a DM on my page or my YouTube or anywhere. I'll check it out and then I can answer those questions, because I know I got another comment from somebody yesterday who said, I love it when you do the check-ins, but I don't always feel confident to ask a question. So you can always send me a private question and then I can answer it for you like I have done today. So hope that was helpful. Have a lovely evening and I will talk to you later.